Welcome back. Doing a lot of thinking lately. You know me. For a long time, a couple of years now, been trying to think about how to free my people. Now I know to most people that's like immediately you're gonna be like, who the fuck do you think you are? I get that. I don't think I'm anybody. I really don't think I'm that special. Even though I do some things, but everybody does things, I think. Everybody can do, anybody could be special. Being special really nowadays is just doing shit that other people don't do. Now for years, like everybody else, we think of all this, we only can go off of, I believe, what was done before us. And I learned that from science. Like how to conduct a science experiment the proper way is to, you do it, you test it, and if it works or goes the way you believe you wanted it to be, well then you do it again. And then when you fail, you realize like, okay, let me try it again to see which is, you know what I mean? So as you begin to test something and you try it one way, you're gonna know if it works or not by the results. Now, my people have tried the same two fucking things for the whole time we've been free. And I noticed it years ago. And I'm not the first person, probably definitely won't be the last person to realize that those ways aren't going to work because, well, you know, we tried them already. They probably could work in a different time or whatever the fucking case may be, but it's not. Now, those two ways in my generation and a generation before me, we see the old, they prop up Martin Luther and they prop up Malcolm X. And they both stand on opposite sides of the same conversation. Freedom. And one said, you know what I mean? You gotta build yourself up. Both sides said build yourself up, not just to work good and be a good citizen, but actually build as a entire nation of people. Build with each other, build businesses, work together, understand certain values that you do have and use your advantages of what they did to you to your advantage. Martin was more like that. Well, they say he was on that thug shit. Like, you know, they always show him with the gun out the window and his by any means necessary speech and the fucking, if a man put his hands on you, all he was doing was what he was at the Muslim stage of his life when he was behind Muhammad, and that's how Muslims are. That's what the Quran teaches you. That's why people don't make fun of Allah. You ever notice that? You can watch TV right now and probably go through 3 stations and you're going to see someone making fun of Jesus or the Lord or, you know what I mean? But ain't nobody going to scream that Allah this and Allah that, right? Why? Because their people will do something about it. That's what their book tells them. So they follow their book. Now, that's besides the point. So on one table we got two ends. We got Martin, which everybody says, which he didn't believe it, and there's proof, I'll show you one day, that we should all work together. And I have a dream that one day, little boys and little girls, all that stuff, right? And then Malcolm was like, nah, let's ride out. Tupac. Biggie Small shit. Ride on the enemies, all that shit, right? And it's what everybody did. That's what, when you study history long enough, you see why they say that quote, history repeats itself. You live 40 years and you take at least 15 to 10 years paying attention to everything, you'll see everything change. And then if you pay attention to the next 10 to 15 years, around, all you need is 20 years to pay attention. You'll see things change, and then you'll see things change again, but it'll be the same. You'll still see how it looks different, but it's still the same shit. Now, I say that to move on to the third plan that everyone, well, the most famous person that got big off of his idea was Marcus Garvey, and he wanted to get a boat and for us to move back to Africa, right? Now, that's okay in a way, you know what I mean? Because that's part of my plan, or what I figured out we should do. Because it ain't my plan. When I studied science, there's this thing called fight, or flight. Your brain automatically chooses two lanes. What did Martin and Malcolm say? Fight or flight? Well, Martin said integrate, but you know, that means not to fight. It means to go along to get along and, you know, work with them and hope that they accept you. Now, Garvey or whatever had the idea of going back to Africa, where they say we're from, right? One, to me, that's bullshit. There's too much proof that I've seen and other people have seen and other people have proved, from the oldest bones found in America are Negroid, not African, to Christopher Columbus saying that when he first got here, all he seen was Negroes, dark-skinned people. So, you know, I don't hear none of that. So, like, I know we were here. It's too much proof. Now, the idea of leaving would be good if I didn't know we're from here. Why would I leave my home? I mean, I know you invaded it and everything, and you took the good parts of everywhere, but still, it's my shit. So, how about the idea of no fight, like fight and flight together, but not directed towards the enemy. Don't fight them, fight yourselves. Weed out the bad among your people, right? You ain't necessarily gotta like fight them or whatever, but words are fighting. When you disagree, you are fighting with your words or whatever. When you have a different outlook on life, you are fighting mentally with how you live. Your way of life and my way of life is bumping heads, so we don't have to physically, you know what I mean? But the whole point of what I'm making is everyone, they're always worried about them. Get along with them, stay where they are and defend your shit from them, or leave to a whole new place. Now, I also believe this is our home because if it really wasn't, we would have left and yous would have let us. Because when I look at a lot of other historical events of slavery, after they're like done building and taking your shit, they let you leave. They're like, you can stay here and be down with us, or you can, go somewhere else. Go do your own thing. I don't give a fuck where you go. I give you a couple of fucking donkeys and a mule and some wood. Go out there and build your own shit if you want. Don't slip up though. Don't you run your mouth, or we'll come and And that's when I realized the game. The only way to truly be free, like this is gonna sound fucking stupid, but hear me out. Because I'm gonna skip a whole lot of shit that I wanted to say to go right to the point. The only way for us to be free, literally, is legal, legitimate, safe slavery. Just saying it sounds stupid. But I've been thinking for a long time. Now you tell me what's the difference between slavery and minimum wage? What's the difference between slavery and the welfare system? I'll wait. What's the difference? You get just enough to survive. You don't get to eat the good fucking food because it's too expensive. And you barely could read, you could barely write, your kids are on the bottom of society and all that other shit. There's no difference. The words are different. And they don't have, what do you call them? The night riders. You could go from city to city and shit. Like we ain't getting beat up and whooped. Now, the shootings and all the unfair treatment, you can relate that to the whoopings and the hangings and all that other shit, right? Now, don't get mad. I'm not mad. It is what it is. Now, if we're literally, because peep it, to throw a stat out there, because stats, numbers don't lie. When black people got out of slavery and started, being free, we got 1% of wealth. 1% of 1% of wealth in America out of all of it. We got 1% of 1%. That's pathetic. And now it's 2022 and we still own 1% of 1% of all the wealth. So you're not going to tell me financially we're free. You're not going to tell me mentally we're free, because when you look at the statistics on school and shit, it's known that black children are reading at a 4th grade level and shit by the time they get out of high school. So that's just we're still mentally getting. That's what I want. We're lowered down, and we're doing it to ourselves. Now, the point of me saying that goes back to slavery, legitimate slavery, no beatings, none of that shit, and no unfair treatment, but slavery in the meaning of when you get this position, you're done. Your family's done. Ain't no rising up. If you get put as the street sweeper, that's what your next 5 generations are gonna be. Until, shit gets built up. Now, this is the head kicker. What we would have to do is enslave ourselves. Yeah, you didn't see that coming, did you? we would have to leave. That's why I said fight and flight together. We'd have to fight each other to rile ourselves up to realize we have to leave. We have to flight. We can't fight them. It ain't no winning. It ain't no point. Ain't no winning. And I'm not going to another country. It's not happening. Like I said, I'm here. We've been here, and I'll say the same stuff that all white people told me when things like this are brought up. My forefathers worked here, and my dad built the railroads, and there's no way I'm leaving. Exactly. Well, my forefathers here before your forefather got here, so I'm not leaving. Put it like that. But what I learned about how much actual land there is everywhere, and seeing that the Most High made me travel from New Jersey to Florida by car and stay up the whole time, and I literally just watched everything and just watched and looked and seen how the trees changed and the environment changed, and I started to notice that there is just so much unoccupied land everywhere. All the states that I passed had all this land that nobody lived on. There's all woodland and shit. And that's when it hit me. That's where we go. We don't have to leave everywhere. We don't have to leave the country. We gotta band together and find somewhere outside of their shit. And we gotta build our own shit. Yeah, it's unfair. Yeah, other people didn't have to do it by themselves. Yeah, when all the immigrants came here, they got land. They got land grants, so in case they fucked their farming up because they didn't know how to farm this land in particular, they still would have money to, re-up on it. Then they got free training on how to actually farm this land. They got a lot of things. Like, a lot of people I've heard all my life hit me with this story about how their grandfather and their grandmother immigrated here and had to do all this hard work, and come to find out, them niggas got handed that. They got handed everything. They got handed a deal where even if they fucked up, they still would get paid, and they still would be able to keep going. So all that hard work shit, I don't want to hear that. They worked hard to make the things, because you can't not work hard to produce. But they didn't pull themselves up by their bootstraps. I don't want to hear that shit. Anyway, if I'm talking about all of us, leave all the Africans that just came over here. Anyone that's not of us would never come with us. So we would know who's who, first of all, because they're good. Now, imagine if all of us got together, right? Not all in one place or whatever, but like online or something. Like there's a big black meeting, and all the black people in America that own anything and have anything all get together and say, listen, we're done. We want more than this. And the only way we can be free and have our own shit is we have some politicians now and stuff, and we made a deal with the government that we can go build our own little society a little bit off of whatever, like 2 or 3 states or whatever, like, down south where it's real lot of land or whatever. We could build our own shit, but it also has to benefit the state or place that it's in. Meaning, because you gotta give Caesar what you gotta pay your fucking dues, bro. We can't just build our own shit and not give them money. These other people don't come over here and not pay taxes and not all that shit. So, they got to give us money to get this shit started, though. Like, they did do us dirty this whole time. So, like, come on, you throw us a couple of fucking shovels at least. It's crazy. So, all that money together is billions. then all the black people that don't have all that rich money, they got to throw their money up too. Everybody got to stop everything they're doing, and everybody got to put their money up, put up every resource. You got to put your body, your flesh up, everything. Now, everybody got to show their skills, and everybody letting everybody know what they could do, and then everybody start working on the shit together. We built Edentown in 30 years. 30 years. Probably 50 years. We'll have like a small town to a small city. Won't be, maybe not bricks and mortar or whatever, because you know it's technology. We and we're gonna have money, so we could build machinery. You know, we can have that. Like, it's crazy how, like, right before I would die as an 80-year-old man, I would be able to die in my own our own city. Because all the manpower, how to build and all that, we don't have to pay nobody. All the black builders, all the Pookies and Ray Rays and Captain Sir Thug-a-Lots, and they're all doing that. They want to live, right? They want to either stay with us or they want to stay with them. Period. And once we leave the cities, what you think they're going to do with Pookie and Ray Ray? What you think they're going to do with them? Really? So they're going to come. All love, all praise to the Most High. Part 2 coming